Hey y'all, welcome back to Drawing Comics, part 11. We are going to continue with inking over the colors. Just want to get faster at it. Really improve the speed using this brush as well. It's a very useful tool. I really do enjoy inking. It's very relaxing, especially using this tool because you don't have to keep dipping it. Just one tool, continuous stream of ink. And you get various lines with it. You don't need to switch colors or anything. It's just this very continuous process. And I really like that. I want to improve on it. I want to get better. And this is a perfect opportunity. I'm just debating whether it's better to do it on this stream or the Drawing Comics stream. But it shares a commonality with both of them because it is still, in a sense, coloring. Just give me a second. I will bring up chat in case I miss somebody's comments. Okay, back to it. Chat is up. Making sure it's in the frame. It does help to wash this brush from time to time because even though it continues to flow very well, it does dry up a little bit And that makes the very tip of the brush not as sensitive as it normally would be. It kind of clumps up. But despite that change, it's still one of the best brushes that I've used for inking. And it's not something that you can't fix. That was actually my point, is you could just wash it and it'll get back its sensitivity. This is very fine bristle. It's a nylon brush, but it's a very fine nylon bristle at the very tip that allows for extremely thin lines. And if you go too long without washing it, that tiny little tip starts to collect all that ink. And when you try to make that thin line, unless you press hard enough, it just won't do it. And then when you do, you get the thickness like that you weren't intending to create. Also, not holding the pen, which I was just doing, not holding it so close to the base, can help with line variation. Having like a balanced weight of the pen really gives you more control. Because if you're holding it at the very tip, like the top is kind of heavy, whereas if you're holding it towards the middle, you gotta find like that nice balance in between both. It gives you a little bit more control over the pen. And it's more of a pleasant experience, I find personally. More of a relaxed sort of experience. And this pen also really helps train me to be more light and loose using these tools, whether it's pencil, whether it's this brush pen, or brushes in general. It's actually just another benefit of coloring comics is because I'm using a brush and not a pencil, and because these brushes really require like sensitive handling in order to get the right brush thickness, it pushes me to keep in mind to be very light, not have the death grip over it. I'm still kind of mentally enamored by the previous stream and viewing Mobius's work. It's just so incredible. If you guys missed it, I highly recommend you watch it again just to see Mobius's work. That panel especially. It's one of the many amazing panels done by Mobius. He's a French artist, comic book artist. I encourage you guys to read more about him, to check out his comics. Just looking at the work, you could see how into what they were doing they were. Just all the tiny little details, but just so skillfully placed. I'm just gonna make it a habit to read those comics before bed. I do play a lot of chess, but I find that sometimes it could be like an adrenaline rush with chess, especially if like you're playing speed chess. And the last thing that I want to do before going to bed is probably have like an adrenaline rush. So it could be like a good substitute. And I've noticed that I've really started watching a lot less television, which I'm really happy about, to be honest. And the same thing with social media. Like, taking a break from all that is so good. What they call doom scrolling, where you're just like scrolling after scrolling. And it's just these things that are just popping in your face all the time, from one thing to another, to another, to another. I think it's behavior that has never been present in history at all, ever. I don't think there's anything else that was similar. I mean, maybe television, but even television wasn't such short span. You would have commercials that would pop on every 5 minutes or something, but this is like every second you're literally just going through one content to the next content to the next content. Each one of them has to be as gripping as the last one. You know, it's this spiraling out in the sense of like social media overload. Overstimulation. I don't think people really think about that at all when it comes to how they use their phone or anything like that. The idea of overstimulation almost doesn't even cross people's minds because it's become such a habit. And this is one of the reasons why I just wanted to do more stuff traditionally, as well as just getting away from that. And streaming really helps because I'm spending so much more time focusing on this than anything else. It's fantastic. The only problem I see with like reading comics in bed is then I'm just gonna be like, oh, I want to get up and draw now. Like looking at all this amazing art, I get inspired to do it, or I'm frustrated that I can't sit down and do that at the moment. There's just so much stuff to do. It boggles my mind when people are bored. You know, it's between having to do this, continue to work on these projects on my personal time, reading, not comics, but just reading books, reading comics as well, and just doing all these different mediums. It's just not enough time in the day. Like, how does somebody feel bored? And while I was actually looking for a nice panel to display for the last stream, I stumbled upon like a folder that I had full of Philip K. Dick books. And I was like, oh, Jesus, man. There's all this other stuff that I want to read that I totally forgot about. Yeah, I have a Kindle that I recently updated, and yeah, I'm reading this other book on it. My goal is really to just wane off of social media as much as possible, because just doesn't do much good. Kind of want to save that for last. Good news is that I'm almost done with this, inking this panel. Let's get move on to the next page. You guys will see new content. So I'm gonna say this is a few scenes before Conan infiltrates the cultists, before he's caught. So he's like witnessing what happened to a lot of people. from that cult, in that cult. Done. Done and done. Just making sure. No details are missed. Before we move on to the next page. Looks about right. So let's do it. Let's see what's coming up. It's this panel right here. And ringed around them were stakes on which were impaled the petrified bodies of men left there to die by Thulsa Doom. Thulsa Doom being the cult leader. Beyond the last mound stood a hut with an aged wizard hunched in its doorway. So these will be the next few panels to work on. Unfortunately, some of this paint did actually go through. It's like a little bit of purple there. But hopefully when I color it, it won't be there. And it's not just gonna keep burning a hole. I will. This is going to be a fairly quick panel actually to paint, because if you guys can see, it's mainly solid colors. There's purple, there's like a pinkish tone, yellow, and some blue. And that's pretty much it. That's not too complicated. So I'm going to bring out this 7. Gonna open up the can, or jar rather, of water, because I always make sure to tighten it at the end of the stream. I'm too afraid to just knock it over with some wires or whatnot. That would be a complete disaster. And since it is very hot, I'm gonna need to squeeze some water. Now, from what I remember in a previous stream, I'm gonna try to mix the colors before I color anything. Just gonna mix the purple, which is magenta and blue. I think in this instance, there's more blue than magenta. To simplify that, the sun is setting. Let's see. Way too much water. Color is about right, but way too much water. Such a well-drawn panel. I was gonna say cool panel, but it's not really. Like, it's hard to say it's cool. It's like two guys impaled on a stake. Like, that isn't cool. It's just drawn well. And it just shows, it has such a mood. Just well done panel. Gonna move on to the background. Nice. It's the right color. Oh, I missed it. The stakes are also purplish. Let's finish that up. I think from this, I can say that just have to watch out for how much water. It's very sensitive. Like, just a little bit of water is good enough. I just don't want to watch any tutorials on this. Like, I'm pretty sure I could watch a tutorial and it's gonna explain, like, what are the best techniques for watercolor. What's the best thing to do when you're mixing with water? And how much water? I just don't want to do it. I like having that eureka moment where I'm just like, oh, this is it. That's how you do it. And then from there, just doing it right each time. It's such a great feeling. Now a little bit of yellow. Nope, it's not gonna work. I think I'm gonna have to open up a new. Should I open up a new one, or can I just dab this? The yellow is all kicked up with other colors. This may be the first time I'm actually blending two colors together. I think for the most part, I've just been doing like solid color work. I like it. It's coming out okay. I want to cross my fingers and say I'm slowly developing sensitivity for how much water is necessary to achieve a certain tone. But I won't hold my breath when I make the mistake again. Surprisingly, the rocks, or the heap, the mountain, or whatever it is, a heap of other dead bodies maybe, came out alright. Some of these panels actually remind me a little bit of the Hercules series from like the early 2000s, I want to say. Or it was like Xena and Hercules. That series. I didn't watch all of them, but from time to time I would tune in. In the beginning it was fun, but I think towards the end it got all kind of weird. It started to feel like they were spending way more time trying to appease the audience than actually creating interesting stories and scenes and stuff. Like it became almost Hollywoodified, I guess. But it's such a long time ago, it's hard to remember what exactly just put me off of it. Let's compare. Let's look at that. I could have done better with the pinks. Like that especially. That's not great. But I don't want to, well, it's hard for you guys to see it. I guess it's not on the panel. Maybe now side by side, you can see it. It's alright. I will give it some time to dry because I don't want the paper to get hairy. And then I might revisit it and touch up some of this red right here. It doesn't look great. Color in the stakes again. And I think I might have learned a lesson there. It's better to start out with the background. So that way, once you go into more of the foreground, you don't have to worry about the background part overlapping it. But in this panel, there is no color, just a white panel. Now it's just white. And there's still time to work on this. So let's do it. I'm gonna need to squeeze some more of this blue right here. Just a smidge. And I think today's gonna be cleaning day for the palette. Just too many colors are mixed together. No bueno. I don't like this. It's coming out blotchy. Trying to see if I could pre-mix this color and just oh, so much color variation when it should be pretty solid. Boo. Boo me. Compare it side by side. I don't think it's the right color. Yeah, it's like more of like a sky blue, not a turquoise. Gotta bring out this cobalt blue. Pop it on here. Doesn't matter because I'm gonna be doing a lot of cleaning. So anywhere really. I think I'm gonna try my theory here. Maybe it's a mix of both, like turquoise and cobalt. because it's sky blue. It's not this like, I don't know, water blue. I think it's earthy colors for this panel. Yeah, see, it's like seeping over into the other page. Damn it. Okay, gonna leave it alone for a little bit. Now let's see if we can nail down this green. It's like a brownish green. Is it this? Sap green? Is it sap green? Or is it Hooker's green? Nice. I don't know what the hell that means. Hooker's green? Come on. You gotta come up with a better name. Nope. Hooker's green, it's not. And it's not this one either. Oh. Disappointment. Disappointed. Maybe deep green. Let's see how that plays out. I think I'm gonna mix Hooker green with that one. With the deep green and see what kind of results I'm gonna get. It's a very multi-layered or multicolored panel for some reason when it shouldn't be. No. Trying out all the greens over here. The closest one, it seems like, is like this one right here. Whoa. This looks so different. Just gonna try it out on a different part of the paper. Nope. That is so green. No way. It's like a blue-green. such rich vegetation. Well, it looks like it's coming to the end of the stream, ladies and gents. I'm gonna say that this panel takes it for the day. It turned out pretty good. Definitely more happy than how this is turning out. This is like way too many different colors. Getting a little frustrated there. So it's kind of good that we're ending it. I have to try to mix these colors on my own to get a better idea. But anyways, I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification when I'm streaming. That way you don't have to wait up. You could also join any of the social media listed, where I post right before I go live. And yeah, stick around. I'm going to be making some announcements soon, with some changes as well. So I'll keep you guys up to date. All right, I'll see you soon.